Our story begins 5 years ago. Clark Kent is awoken by a sound that fills his heart with joy. Out of all of his godly abilities, in this miraculous moment, the sound of super hearing trumps them all. Tonight, he woke to the single greatest sound he's ever heard. The sound of 2 heartbeats coming from one person. Hours later, the Man of Steel has found the Dark Knight detective brooding atop of skyscrapers as always. Before Superman manages to get out a word, Batman has already deduced that Lois is pregnant. When asked how he knew, Batman replies, "You're grinning like an idiot." Dawn breaks and the Man of Steel found his best pal, Jimmy Olsen, dead, and a Joker card amongst the crime scene. His wife is missing, last seen with Olsen. It's hard to put fear into the Man of Steel, but today, he felt a sense of fear that would cripple a man. The love of his life and his unborn child has gone missing, presumably kidnapped by the crime prince of darkness. Batman radios into every single Justice League member to scour the area for Lois Lane. Their endeavors have tracked down the Joker to an underwater submarine. Superman flew like he never flew before. If he had to cut the Earth in half, he would do so. But Clark got to the submarine and discovers the Joker, his apprentice, and his unconscious wife on a lab table. Gaseous fumes cover the room and the Man of Steel begins to feel wobbly. Doomsday breaks his containment and is ready to take on the Man of Steel. Clark would not let any harm come to his wife and unborn. He tackles Doomsday and flies into space where no one else can be harmed. Joker emerges from the submarine attempting to escape, but the League arrives, giving him nowhere else to go. When questioned, the Joker easily gives up his master plan. The warhead stolen from the submarine is hidden in a city, and the trigger is Lois Lane. "Where is Lois?" Batman asks. "What did you do to her?" You see, the Joker's laughing gas mixed with the Scarecrow's fear toxin released in the submarine has clouded Superman's perception. Batman radios in, telling Superman to stop. It is not real. Doomsday is not there. But it is too late. Clark regains his focus and then 2 hearts beating on one person stop beating. This, in turn, activates the Joker's warhead. And Metropolis blows up in a mushroom cloud. In the aftermath of the Joker's bomb, the League has done what they can to quarantine the area and rescue the civilians. Superman returns to Earth with the body of the woman whom he loves. Joker is locked up and interrogated by Batman. Joker took his wife, his unborn child, his city, his home. The Man of Steel was tricked into murdering the woman he loves and the child he will never know. He will have a word with the crime prince and no one will get in his way, not even Hal Jordan. Arriving at the interrogation room, Superman effortlessly shoves Batman to the side like he was an annoying fly. The Joker smirks, but no words were said as Superman shoves his entire arm through the madman's stomach. Days later, the world mourns the 11 million killed in the Joker's bombing attack, and the Man of Steel secludes himself in his fortress. While listening into the travesties that plagues the world, he thinks to himself, he has had enough. The world has not gotten any better, and the people of his adopted home is still suffering and cowering in fear from the madman like the Joker. Superman is ready to leave his solitude, and the world will hear what he has to say. The United Nations. Superman arrives for his conference. The world will be listening. He begins with the words, "My name, my Earth name, is Clark Kent. As a journalist, I spent too much time writing about the evil in the world. As a hero, I spent too much time reacting to the evils already perpetrated. No more. What happened in Metropolis can never be allowed to happen again. Monsters cannot be allowed to roam free among us. To those who would commit heinous criminal acts, to those who would hurt others, know that I will come for you. I don't care about your lands or your beliefs. I don't care about your petty squabbles. I don't care if you're a king or a president. I'm calling on an immediate worldwide ceasefire. All hostilities will stop. Immediately. Or I will stop them for you." It is now days after his worldwide announcement, and Superman has become a one-man army disabling and disrupting government military operations. This time, he stopped a US military operation. The President of the United States has had enough of this man acting as judge, jury, and executioner. He permits an operation to hurt Superman, where he is now most vulnerable. In the dark of the night, military contractors break into the Kent farm and kidnaps Ma and Pa Kent. While Superman rushes into this farm, the operative teleports himself to a piece of mirror. With Superman looking on, they threaten the lives of his parents, but if Clark returns to doing what he does best and leaving the world governments alone, his parents keep breathing. If he does not cooperate, they will send Ma-and-Pa's body parts gift-wrapped back to the Man of Steel. The Justice League stands behind Clark, and they utilize their resources to finding the villain Mirror Master and saving Ma-and-Pa Kent. Evidently, this failed mission has garnered even more heroes behind the Man of Steel's crusade. Even the God of War Ares has taken notice. Superman now visits the Batcave to have a chat with his friend, but he won't find Batman on his side. What he is doing is imposing his strength upon the world. This will turn into a dictatorship. Batman will not stand behind someone that is out of control, and he is not alone. On the opposite side of the world, King Arthur has raised an army to show the Man of Steel that Atlantis will not kneel to his subjugation. The Atlanteans do not recognize Superman as their king and leader, but now, Aquaman has caught the attention of the Man of Steel. Even though Superman attempts a diplomatic approach, he will not sway the decision of the ocean ruler. He is not some pathetic self-appointed leader of an insignificant country who can be bullied into submission. Every port, every ship, everything that flies over the ocean does so with his blessing. The world would grind to a halt if he wielded it. Every landmass borders the sea. The ocean is his to command, and King Arthur must set an example. Consider this a show of strength. Arthur states, "Now get the hell out of my ocean." Superman and his forces depart the ocean, but this is not surrender. Superman does not do well with ultimatums. It is time the League shows the world their true strength. It is time they show everyone who would threaten the world just how much power they're dealing with. No more holding back. And just like that, the city that has never been touched by sunlight has been placed in the middle of the hottest desert in the world. Arthur's heart sank as he now knows that the reign of Superman has begun. But he isn't the only one that stands opposed to this new world order. Barry Allen, after witnessing his so-called friends cripple a young man that once idolizes the League, begins to question his choice of friends. Is Batman right about Superman? Or is Superman's vision for the future something worth fighting for? Days later, Superman continues his war on crime and finds himself in Gotham, Batman's home turf. The Dark Knight knows all too well why his ex-teammates are doing in the city. They are targeting Arkham Asylum, so Batman and Nightwing are en route to save the villains that they put in there. But the son of the Bat will not cooperate. Damian Wayne has been stubborn in more than just one occasion, but this time, he truly believes in Superman's cause. And this time, Damian Wayne finds himself on the opposite team alongside Superman and his League. All hell breaks loose as the inmates gets released from their cage. Damian finally can unload his anger. He reveled in it. He was happy. Grayson attempts to stop the boy wonder from going too far, but Damian has had enough from an unwanted mentor. He throws his baton at the first Robin. This would knock Grayson out cold, but unfortunately, Dick lands on a pile of sharp rocks and he breaks his neck. Bruce would later discover the corpse of his first protege, killed by his son. The room went silent, inmate and heroes alike. They stand in awe and mourn for the first casualty of this war that Superman has started. Across town, Catwoman is currently at work as she robs a condo belonging to a high-profile corrupted politician. Superman appears and asks if she could go see Bruce. He breaks the news to her that Dick has died. Selina's heart skipped a beat. She knows what this will do to Bruce. She arrives as fast as she can to the Wayne mansion to find Alfred soaking his sorrows with alcohol and Batman punching till his knuckles bled. Her presence has broken Batman's rage. He now knows what he must do. With Catwoman and the President of the United States backing him up, Batman has garnered heroes and vigilantes that has not yet sided themselves with Superman and his League. Captain Atom states, "What's the plan of attack?" It is now 1 month to the day that the madman detonated a bomb killing 11 million civilians. 2 words originated within Metropolis, echoing through radio frequency. 2 words that states, "I'm alive." This is likely a trap, but Superman will not risk being wrong. He brings Green Lantern and Wonder Woman into the old remains of his city, only to find Lex Luthor still alive. If anyone could survive a crisis in Metropolis, it would be Luthor, and he wants in on Superman's crusade. Convinced by his friend Luthor, Superman has arranged another conference. This time, it will be Clark Kent who approaches the podium. He informs the crowd that all he wants for his adopted home planet is to see it flourish. No man or woman should be living in fear. Everyone should feel safe. But the skies rip open as Kalibak with an army from Apokolips invades Earth. You see, at this time, Kalibak has gained intel that Superman has gone soft, that he no longer wants to fight. This presents a perfect opportunity for this son of Apokolips to claim the lush planet for his father, Darkseid. He pins down Superman under a mountain of parademons. Kalibak accuses Superman of being weak and is controlled by his moral compass. This is why Superman will fail to the rampaging horde of Apocalypse. In that moment, something snapped within Clark. He experienced an epiphany. The dark side within the Kryptonian grew just a bit bigger. He unloads his fury and he decimates a mountain of parademons. Kalibak crawls away in fear, stating that he yields. But this is a monster that raised an army for a full-scale invasion of Earth. The Justice League is stretched thin. Moscow, Shanghai, Mumbai, and even Gotham, Batman's forces are fighting the invasion wave. Superman says no more. No more mercy for cancers posing as men. When Kalibak states that he is a god, Superman replies with a fury of punches. I don't care, he states, as he pummels Apocalypton into the ground with all of his might. Clark takes flight, and with a deep breath, he musters all of his godly strength and flew, faster than he's ever gone before, targeting any and all threats to his home world. In mere seconds, the world is saved. The warriors of Apocalypse did not return home, but rather, they explode as the Man of Steel flies through their body. This godly display of fearful power has shown the world what the Man of Steel can do. Mere seconds ago, the hordes of parademons covered the sun. Now, ashes from their corpse falls as if it was raining black dust. The crowd now cheers for their savior, but the roaring praise didn't just come from his conference in Paris. All around the world, the people of Earth cheered for the Man of Steel. Then rose the Superman cult, a small group of people continuing the work of their god. These men are responsible for killing small-time criminals and causing heinous acts of crime for their savior. But they have attracted the attention of Batman and his rebels. They engage the Zealots, but suddenly, the new savior of the planet arrives with his team. The Justice League stands more divided than ever before, and for the first time, two ex-best friends now have nothing to say to another. The next day, Luthor has finished his plan on giving Superman his own personal peacekeeping army. A pill engineered from Kryptonian technology can offer superhuman strength and abilities to any regular human. After this meeting of gods and men, Damian Wayne sneaks out and teleports back to the Batcave, but Hawkgirl is not too far behind. Damian has returned to the Batcave on behest of his father figure, Alfred. But it was a ruse, and Alfred intended for the father and the son to find some alone time to speak in private. The talk becomes heated, which results in Batman being thrown into the giant coin. It begins to fall, but Hawkgirl arrives to Batman's aid. Damian notices that Hawkgirl is strong, but not that strong. He smells an imposter and exposes his teammate. With fire burning, Hawkgirl changes back to her true form. It's all clear to Damian now. Hawkgirl has been kidnapped and gone for weeks, so Batman can send a mole into the Justice League. The son of the Bat vanishes back into the shadow only to reappear at the Watchtower. Superman learns the truth and is enraged even more than ever. Batman has taken one of his own, and this deed will not go unnoticed. With Cyborg's help, Superman will broadcast a message into every single device on the planet. Cell phones, TVs, radios, nothing is left out. He informs the world that their Dark Knight detective has kidnapped a Justice Leaguer. Batman has taken one of their own. And now, Superman will take the one thing that he holds safe from the world, his identity. As Superman begins to announce the name, Batman activates Protocol Icarus and the Watchtower loses all power. This in turn cancels out Superman's announcement, but this will not stop the Man of Steel. They have a human computer and one of the smartest men on the planet on their side. There must be a way to relay this message to the world. Seconds later, all across the world, everyone receives a text. Batman is Bruce Wayne. The score is not even, and Superman speeds straight towards the Batcave. Arriving on location, the League is met by Batman at the front door. They demand for the release of their teammate, in which case Batman replies that Hawkgirl has already been released. Batman takes flight and reveals himself as the Martian. The Justice League gives chase, but he takes out Green Lantern and begins to enter Wonder Woman's lungs, suffocating the air right out of her. Diana gives Clark a look and he knows what he must do. With his heat vision, he burns and kills the Martian while saving the life of one of his strongest allies. The Martian Manhunter is now another hero casualty from Superman's war against crime. The following day, with the help of the US Navy offering a strategic distraction, Batman and his rebel forces arrives on the fringes of Superman's fortress. You see, Batman has gained intel of a weapon that can change the tides of war. A pill has been created that can transform a normal human being into a powerhouse that can potentially go toe-to-toe with Superman. and this weapon is stored in one of the most impregnable places in the world, the Fortress of Solitude. With the help of Catwoman and Captain Atom, our rebels manages to open the front door, but a surprise has rocked Batman to the bone. His plans turns into dust as he discovers Ma and Pa Kent residing in the fortress. After his parents' attempted kidnapping, Superman has placed the Kents somewhere he knows that they would be safe. But Batman has just disturbed the Hornet's nest and the Man of Steel is alerted. He flies towards his fortress with purpose. As he lands, Captain Atom is ready to face off against the Man of Steel, giving his team some time to fulfill their mission. But the Battle of Titans causes the icy walls to crumble and Green Arrow, along with Ma and Pa Kent, get separated from the group. Time is of the essence and Captain Atom is losing. Wonder Woman arrives, and in an attempt to aid her comrade, she breaches the containment suit that holds the power of 10 nuclear bombs within Captain Atom. He knows his fate, but he also knows his mission. This soldier is going to die soon, but he will take out his target when given the chance. Atom tackles the last son of Krypton and flies into outer space. This is where he will hold his last stand. All he has to do is keep Superman busy while his body expires. With Wonder Woman giving chase, the Captain's body gives out and he blows up with the power of 10 nuclear bombs. The rumble of destruction is felt around the world. He was ordered to take Superman out if the opportunity presented itself. This was his only opportunity. He failed. Clark returns back to his fortress and finds his parent along with the Arrow still alive. "Get away from them," he screams. Oliver must think fast. He is only human facing off with a god. As he takes a shot at Superman, the arrow ricochets from his chest, landing in Pa Kent. The shot is non-life-threatening, but Clark does not see it that way. He slaps Arrow through an ice wall. That one hit would have killed a normal man, but Oliver is determined to finish his mission. His arm is broken along with his body. He picks up his bow and arrow and focuses on another shot. The arrow missed the Man of Steel by half an inch, but Superman was not the target. Outside, Batman detects the locator beacon he placed on Oliver, coming in fast. Arriving on scene, Black Canary discovers the item they came to retrieve, the weaponized pill. But no Oliver. Her heart sank as she knows that the Green Arrow saved the day, and will not be meeting them at their rendezvous point. Back inside, after a brutal beating by a man he once called friend, Oliver can no longer feel pain. He tries to speak, but his vocal cords are too heavily damaged along with the rest of his body. His body goes numb, and blackness begins to set in. The last thing he can see, instead of a fallen hero, is a woman he loves. The woman he lied to. He says sorry to the Black Canary. He thought they would have more time. Superman, overly enraged, continues to pummel the body of Oliver Queen. But his adopted parents step in, and, along with Jor-El's voice, Clark manages to calm down for a split second. Clark now understands that it was not Oliver's fault. No, instead, he chooses to blame Bruce Wayne. It was Wayne who allowed the Joker to live this long. It was Batman who sent his team into the fortress causing Oliver's death. It is Batman's fault. It has always been his fault. Clark knows what he must do and flies off. The Kents look toward Jor-El and states that they tried. They tried to raise his son. They are sorry. Jor-El, saddened by his legacy, states, "No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I unleashed this onto your world." Batman returns to his Batcave to re-engineer the weapon. Only the computers in his cave has the tech to do so, but he is well aware that this will be the first place that Superman will choose to start looking first. His computer begins to analyze the pill. At 1%, Superman has arrived. He grabs Batman by his neck, but Bruce states that Clark, deep down inside, wants the Dark Knight to win. He knows that he has fallen, and he must be stopped. Clark could have lobotomized Bruce from space, but he didn't. 37%, and Batman continues to talk. "You think I can stop you, Clark, and somewhere deep down, you want me to." 54%, and Batman begins to patronize and talk sense into the Man of Steel. "Would it be easy for you if I put on a metal suit and hit you over and over again? I'm sorry to disappoint you with this anticlimax, but I'm not going to fight you, Clark. I'm not like you. I'm not a murderer." 82%, and Batman turns on a recording of Clark and Lois declaring their vows to one another at their wedding. This further enrages Superman. 96%, Batman throws a sonic blast which temporarily incapacitates his old friend. He reaches for the pill, but Superman grabs his hand. "You're right, Bruce. I'm not here to kill you, but I can't have you in a position where you can hurt me or the world anymore." He breaks the Bat's back, and Bruce falls to the floor. 100%, and the pill's formula has been uploaded. Even with a broken back, Batman has won. Where did it upload to? Who has access to it? Tell me, he yells while placing pressure on Bruce's ravaged back. Batman's weakened voice states, "No matter what you tell yourself in the future, I want you to remember this moment when you resorted to torture for the greater good." This realization causes Clark to back off. This gives enough time for the faithful butler to headbutt the fallen hero in the face. Alfred has taken the pill and gained an enormous amount of strength, allowing him to do real damage to the last son of Krypton. He pummels the fallen hero into the ground, stating, "You don't get to hurt my family anymore." With Superman temporarily unconscious, the faithful butler picks up the Dark Knight and departs the Batcave. They will not be returning. They got everything they need. There's nothing worth saving here anymore. One day later, the United Nations, with the world's leaders looking on, Clark declares that Batman and everyone who aids him are terrorists. He has stolen a powerful weapon of mass destruction and intends to use it against the world. With his new peacekeeping army in place, and the Justice League supporting him, Superman declares that he will save the world. He intends to do whatever it takes. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Comic Island. My name is Joey, and thank you so much for watching our Injustice Gods Among Us Year 1 complete story. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did making it. Now, I want to hear from you guys. Do you want an Injustice Year 2 complete story? I do have it planned, but it's far down the list, so with enough requests and view counts on this video, I'll bump up Year 2 and get that out sooner rather than later. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching, and as always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time in another complete story video.